Okay, and that, of course, this is, I just accepted, no, this class, okay, just a few days ago. No, so well, before the holiday last week. Okay, so it was really, kumbaga, it was really a surprise, no, because there was somebody who handled this, no, last time, no, sabi nila, no, so it's already, I mean, nobody will teach. So, well, I accepted the invitation, so I'm here now. Okay, now, so how many are we? So I guess, well, as indicated here, so we have 50 there are about 50 plus, no, students. Now, if you have an idea, no, so how many classes ba, no, you had last time? No, so I'm sure that you have already met your other reviewers, no, last week. Okay, so mga ilan kaya tayo, Sophia? So last time, no? So do you have an idea how many you are, no, in this class? So that I will just have an idea on, buti na lang hindi face to face, no? Because I really cannot accept, no, the challenge, no, if it is face to face, because I'm here based in, so you're 81. Okay, so thank you, Jessie. Okay, so for informing me, so you are more or less, you are 81. Okay, now, uh, just like what I'm saying, so since I just accepted this last time, no, or last week, just last week, a few days ago. Okay, so if it is face to face, I can't really accept, no, because I'm based here in Santa Rosa, Laguna, no, so it would be difficult for me to meet you physically, although I would love to meet you physically or face to face siguro later, siguro ano, well, some other time, but most of the time we will have, no, so as I was informed, no, that it's gonna be a virtual class. Okay, now just to give you an introduction, no, of the subject matter. Now, as I said, theory of accounts is, no, before, no, it was a separate board subject. Talagang stand-alone subject siya originally. But since, no, there has been a revision, no, in the in the number of subjects, no, being what we call number of subjects in the board examination, okay, from 7 subjects down to 6 subjects. Yung theory of accounts, no, na-scatter siya sa iba't ibang subjects. Okay, so that our theory of accounts, no, meron tayong theory of accounts na financial accounting theory, no, meaning to say that if you had your intermediate accounting, naku, napakadaming theory of accounts doon. Okay? So, now what about yung Advanced Financial Accounting and Reporting, yung AFAR? Okay, so napakarami rin na theory of accounts doon. So we will not only confine with the theory of accounts that you learn in intermediate accounting, part 1, part 2, part 3. But we will also be discussing theory of accounts, the concepts behind advanced financial accounting and reporting. Naku, napakadami rin. Okay? So, and another is that there are other items or other concepts, no, which of course you might not or you may expect, no, to come out, no, in the board examination, to come out in MAS. Okay, so MAS or Management Advisory Services. Okay, and then sa auditing, meron ding konti. Now, theory of accounts is everywhere. Okay, so that it is a service subject to all the board subjects. Okay, including auditing. Okay, so it's really very broad. And, our first and foremost, no, so you should, of course, no, I would encourage each of you no, to invest in books, no, particularly in theory of accounts, no. Okay, so that meron tayong ano, meron kayong nababasa. So of course I'm going to give you every now and then, I'm going to give you lessons, no, handouts, no, virtual handouts or digital handouts, no, kasi it used to be before puro mga paper-based handouts, no? Kaya ang dami-daming ano, ang dami-daming yung handouts, no? Okay, but now mas marami kasi it's digital. Hindi magasto sa papel, right? Okay, so I would be distributing or I would be giving you copies of the lessons, no? Okay. Now, what is my style? Natural. I am going to discuss the concept. Okay? So each concept, no, which of course, no, we cannot just we cannot I cannot teach theory of accounts no without referring to what? To the course syllabus. Now, your assignment is for you to download a copy, no, a copy of each board subject's course syllabus. Okay? So, meaning to say, kailangan pati yung table of specification. So, it goes with the course syllabus. Now, where do you download? No, you download from the PRC Board of Accountancy. No, Regulatory Board of Accountancy, yung PRC website. And you will find there, no, meron doon iba't iba ibang mga professions. So, you look for the Board of Accountancy. And from the Board of Accountancy website, no, you can download the most updated, not the old one, but the most or the latest, no, the latest or the most updated course syllabi in all subjects. Idamay mo na yung lahat ng subjects. Okay? So I want you to have a copy of those. Kasi importante yon. And as I said, since TOA or Theory of Accounts is everywhere, no, in all board subjects. Sa totoo lang, so I think no, it would be wise for you to to reproduce or rather to have copy no of each board subject syllabus, including the table of specification or the TOS. Hindi tayo pwedeng mawala doon. Kailangan bawat isa doon matutunan nyo. Okay? So that's the that is the first thing that you need to do. Okay, in order to learn no all, not only TOA but all board subjects. Okay, you cannot just concentrate in only one subject. No, favorite ko MAS, dun lang ako. Hindi pwede 'yon, no? So it has to be all subjects because you will not become a CPA no kung isang subject or dalawa, one or two subjects, no, those are the only ones that you will pass. No? Hindi pwede 'yon. And of course, we know that the board examination here in the Philippines, no, I'm speaking of you know the CPA, the Certified Public Accountant Licensure Examination. So it is so tough. Okay? And we all know na napakahirap pumasa. Well, real talk lang. It's so challenging. And preparation is the best, no, or rather the most important, no, the most important factor for you to become CPA, no? Hindi pwedeng walang preparation. Okay, TOA is so rich, no? It is rich. Now when I say it is rich, it means to say it is too lengthy. Ang dami-daming babasahin. Okay? And of course, no, well, there is really no need for you to take sleeping pills, no? To make yourself or to make you sleepy, no? Or to fall asleep. Why? Kasi just read TOA, no? Lessons, no? Makakatulog ka sa dami. Okay? And it's so technical sometimes. So I'm here to simplify, no, not to make it complicated. Okay? And that, of course, for each lesson, meron tayong mga review, what we call review exercises, no, mostly in multiple choice. Why? Because the style of your board examination is multiple choice. No, unlike before, wherein the board subject talaga hindi naman multiple choice. Partly is multiple choice, but most parts no are not multiple choice, straight problem. Okay. Now in theory of accounts, no, you will be asked to to parang some sort of essay. No, there are questions that you are given questions and you need to answer to justify your answers. Meron pa ngang enumeration, and then yung enumeration for each item enumerated, you have to explain. No? Buti nga ngayon, hindi na ganon, multiple choice. Okay, so mastery is of course, no? It's a requirement. No, you need to master. Okay, and how do you master? Sabi nga natin, this is a review. And when you say review, it means to say you're done with the first view. Kasi when you learn an item or a topic for the first time, that's the first view. But when you say review, it means to say you already know about the topic and you need only to be refreshed. No? So recall, no? Kaya lang ang problema kung walang recall kasi first view. Okay? Or sometimes meron mga technical terms na pinag-aralan nun pero hindi masyadong na-expound. Why? Because of time constraint, no? Alam mo naman, napakahaba ng accounting, no? So its subject is too lengthy. Kaya minsan because of time constraint, hindi na take up deeply. But of course, no, the reason why you are here in the integrated review course, particularly in TOA, no, is for you to get, no, kumbaga, something like, no, aside from being refreshed, no, or giving you a chance to recall, but also in most cases, no, or in some cases, no, you will learn the topic for the first time. Baka absent kayo ng tinuro ng teacher. O kaya naman, hindi wala kayo sa mood. No, nung tinuro. Okay. O kaya naman, talagang wala sa loob mo yung itinuro. Pero itinuro. Okay. So, without much ado now, let me give you a brief introduction of myself. Okay. As I said, no, I've been teaching for decades already. So in fact, no, I already retired from PSBA Manila, although I am still, teaching in other universities. Okay, so what else? No, I am the former coordinator of the PSBA Review School, and I am also the former chairman, no, or the department head of accountancy, no. Okay, so yon, ano, kaya alam na alam ko ang PSBA. Kilalang kilala ko ang PSBA. I've been there for several decades already. Okay, now I am back. No, but as a reviewer. Okay? So that is a brief. I'm a certified public accountant. Hindi naman kami pwede magturo if we are not CPAs, no? Okay, ano pa? What else, no? So I was also a former dean of a college, no, of accountancy somewhere out there. Okay, so meaning to say, with those experiences, natural, those experiences helped me a lot, no, in understanding the plight of students, no, because that is my specialization, no. So that means, no, na alam ko na kung ano mga kahinaan ng estudyante, lalo na ng mga reviewees, no? Ano ba ang expectations natin? Okay, so you should have prepared for the board examination way back when you were still in your first year. The first day of classes, no? During your first year, no, in BSA. Okay, kaya lang matagal na 'yon, now it's really, kumbaga, this is already the, I mean, you will come to, kumbaga, you will come to, let's say, a point na marirealize mo, nako, kailangan ko na pala talagang mag-double time because you are about to take the board examination. Okay, so probably this May or this, hindi na abot ng May. So probably this year in November, because the board examination is administered twice a year. Okay, may May group at saka may October group na nasira lang because of the pandemic. No, I mean nasira yung schedule because of the pandemic. Okay? So it was postponed for several batches, several kumbaga several seasons. Why? Because of the pandemic. Okay. So ngayon siguro hopefully and we pray na mag-normalize. Okay, but since there is still pandemic, we are still under pandemic, there is still pandemic, talagang hindi pa masyadong normal. But for purposes of classroom discussion, whether it is face to face or virtual, the mode of learning should not affect the quality of the subject or the quality of the review subject. Kailangan, or the quality of the instruction. Okay, basta nandyan kayo, nandito ako, may materials tayo, and we have this communication tool. No, so we can learn from each other, but most of the time you will learn from me. Okay, but I am just a facilitator. Okay, facilitator of learning. You are the most important, the most important, uh you know uh tawag dito, you are the most important uh, person, no, in this learning environment. Not me, but you. Ikayo ang bida dito, kayo ang focus dito. Okay? So, I hope that in October, yung kukuha kayo ng board examination, it's gonna be a success. Okay? But of course, you cannot be successful unless you have good preparation. Talagang you really have to prepare, so much, because your exam is too heavy. No, I'm sure of that. Okay? So let us start now. So we will not be wasting time. Now, in your Google Classroom, you already have lesson 1. But aside from lesson 1, so I will be also sharing with you right after our session today. So I'm gonna upload the the PowerPoint presentation. Most of the time, I have a lesson or lecture note, or review note. I may call it review note, in Word document format. At the same time, I also prepare PowerPoint presentation for classroom purposes, for discussion purposes. Okay, bakit? Kasi tayo, 'di ba, pag mas effective tayo kapag may visuals, visual aids, mas madaling maintindihan. Okay, so for lesson 1, so I have prepared a PowerPoint presentation, and at the same time you already have your lecture note or review note in Word. Okay? So, let's begin, So, this is an icebreaker. Let's begin. Okay? So, all you have to do is just listen. Now, regarding the assessments, So, I will still be communicating, or I will still be I mean, I don't know yet, whether if uh, the assessment policy is just the same as when I was still there. Sa tingin ko hindi, no? Kaya I should know. Okay, so like for example, how many quizzes will you be having? Kasi during those times, when I was still the coordinator of the CPA review, there are several, or there were several quizzes. Okay, and then may major examination, the midterm, which we call the first pre-board, and the final examination, which is the final pre-board. All of those, are computed, or are considered in preparing, or in computing for your final grade. And I really don't know this semester kung ano ba how it is, So titingnan natin, and then I am going to discuss it with you, okay, later. So i-verify ko muna kung ano yung mga assessment policies natin ngayon. Okay? So let me share my screen now. So I'm about to start. Okay, we always begin with the conceptual framework for financial reporting. Okay, why? What is a framework? Okay, so let us I will also be discussing with you. Wait a minute. So before I discuss with you the conceptual framework for financial reporting, okay, so in PowerPoint, so let me share also with you, no, the one that I uploaded, no, the I mean the Word document, no, of the review note, no, that I uploaded. Okay, so wait for a while. So yun muna. Stop mo muna yung sharing dito. Then I will share this. Okay, here it is. Okay. So your review notes. Okay, so medyo may long, very long ano. Okay. So like this one. And then there are review problems. And I also, no, and there are times that the lesson or the review note also contains suggested videos. Kung meron lang naman kayo spare time, okay. So pwedeng pwedeng you may watch, no. I have there the links, no. Okay, so those are my recommended or suggested videos, no, that you can watch or view at YouTube. Okay. Now, for my first question, why do we have to start, no, from rather with conceptual framework? Now, actually, conceptual or the ISB conceptual framework for financial reporting has many revisions already, no, so it underwent, no, many revisions already. So it even started, if you will be curious, if you want to be I mean, if you are fond of history, no, so the first set of IASB, it's not called IASB pa noon, no, kasi it was a pronouncement, no, way back April 1989 pa. Ito yung framework for the preparation and presentation of financial statements, which was approved by the old, no, the old international organization which we call International Accounting Standards Council. Kasi yun yung unang organization. We will get to know, no, the International Accounting Standards Board or the IASB, which is the present or the current standard setting body, no, for financial reporting. Okay, so hindi siya nagsimulang IASB. It started as IASC. And that, yung conceptual framework, the original one or the first one, the first set, which was developed and approved, no, for implementation way back April 1989. So matanda na ang conceptual framework. Okay? But now, since sabi ko nga sa inyo, importante, no, na alam natin yung latest. The latest is dated March 2018. No, and it is known as the Conceptual Framework for Financial Reporting 2018. The framework. So as I said, it was published March 2018. Okay? So, etong version na pag-aaralan natin, this is the latest one. Okay, now, question, as I said, why do we have to start with conceptual framework? No? A conceptual framework is just like the skeleton that holds your muscle. No? Kaya ang dami-daming pronouncements, no? There are so many pronouncements, no? Like IFRS. Naku, napakaraming IFRS. And then of course yung mga current, old but still current, no? Current or still effective IAS, no? Or International Accounting Standards, no? Sabi mo, bakit may IAS, meron pang IFRS? You will know the reason why later on as we discuss it. Okay. So, a conceptual framework, as I said, no, it's just like, no, the skeleton holding your muscle. Okay, the muscles are the IFRS, the pronouncements of the IASB. Okay, and the skeleton is the conceptual framework. Okay. Now, Conceptual framework in financial reporting. Now, when we speak of financial reporting, ano ba ibig sabihin natin? We always think of the general purpose financial statement. Okay, ano ba ibig sabihin ng general purpose? Hindi special purpose. Kumbaga sa arena, meron tayong arinang sinasabi natin na special cake flour, 'di ba? Pero meron ding general or all-purpose flour. Okay? So that means to say, ganito rin. No, meron tayong tinatawag na financial statement which we call general purpose financial statement. At meron din tayong mga financial statements that are for management eyes only or internal lang. Okay? Wala tayong pakialam doon. Why? Because it is, being discussed in management advisory services. Pang-internal. Okay? Pero ang pinag-uusapan natin sa financial reporting, pang-external. Meaning to say, who are these external users, no, of financial or general purpose financial statements? So we will find out later. Okay. Now, a conceptual framework in financial reporting is a statement of generally accepted theoretical principles. Theory ang pinag-uusapan natin dito, which form the frame of reference for financial reporting. So, lahat ng mga pronouncements of the IASB ay naka-anchor sa conceptual framework. Kaya hindi dapat magkaroon ng conflict sa bawat isa because it only comes from one conceptual framework. Okay. These theoretical principles provide the basis for the development of new accounting standards. Sabi mo, ano ba ibig sabihin ng standard? A standard is a yardstick. No? We measure anything we can measure because there is a standard or a yardstick. Kaya nga nag-gauge natin ang performance, na-evaluate natin ang performance kasi may standard. Parang kayo, no? Para malaman natin how your academic performance is, meron tayong grading system. Hindi pwedeng walang grading system, no? Okay, so that even in accounting practice, kailangan alam natin ang accounting standards. Okay. And the evaluation of those already in existence. Ang ibig sabihin, the IASB does not only make new pronouncements, but of course, it is also the role of the IASB to evaluate those pronouncements that have already existed for a long time, kung kailangan na bang i-revise. Kaya meron tayong mga IAS na nare-revise. Okay? Bakit? Siguro hindi na niya na-address yung mga current needs of business entities. No, by the way, ang pinag-uusapan natin dito sa theory of accounts ay pag sinabi nating mga IFRS or IFRS, okay? Ang pinag-uusapan natin ay accounting standards for business entities or business establishment. Okay? Hindi natin pinag-uusapan yung non-profit entities. Hindi natin pinag-uusapan yung government or the public sector. So meaning to say, naka-confine tayo for the meantime since we are talking about IASB, pinag-uusapan natin dito ay ang business entities. Okay, so the framework serves as theoretical basis for determining which events should be accounted for, how they should be measured, and how they should be communicated to the user. So napaka-importante natin na bakit kailangan natin ng general purpose FS? No? Bakit kailangan natin ng financial reporting? Bakit importante? Because we need to inform users of financial statements. The users of financial statements make rational decisions. And to enable them to make rational decisions, kailangan informed yung magiging judgment nila. And when you say informed, it means to say we supply them information. So ano ba yung information that we supply to them? We supply them quantitative information, primarily financial in nature. So sabi mo, ano yun? Nagde-define si ma'am ng accounting? Oh yes, because accounting is a service activity. Its function is to provide what? Quantitative information. Anong ibig sabihin ng quantitative? It is measurable. Measurable in what? In terms of money. Kasi financial in nature, kaya measurable in terms of money. Meaning to say, an accountant, a financial accountant at that, no, is expected or is tasked, no, to supply users with quantitative information that is primarily financial in nature. About what? About economic entities. Okay, and that in since we are talking about IFRS, no, accounting standards for financial reporting, then what we mean, no, is information about business establishments, business entities, which in our conceptual framework, we call these business entities as reporting entities. No? Kasi dati ang ginagamit ng conceptual framework ay yung term na enterprise. Okay, pero ngayon hindi na. Ang tawag natin, no, sa mga ang mga entities that report their financial statements or that publish their financial or communicate their financial statements to users, ang tawag natin sa kanila ay reporting entities. Okay? At ang reporting entities ay pwedeng maging sole proprietorship. Pwede siyang partnership. Pwede rin siyang corporation. Okay? And that, if it is a corporation, it may be an unconsolidated entity or a consolidated entity. Anong ibig ko sabihin ng consolidated entity? No, it's a group. No, it's a group. Group of what? Group of companies. No, one is a parent and the others are subsidiaries. Kaya nga 'di ba, pinag-aralan nyo, merong consolidated financial statements. Ibig sabihin, it's a group FS. Kaya ibig sabihin, yung accounting standards na gagamitin or pinag-aaralan natin are not only meant for unconsolidated entities or yung mga tinatawag natin na stand-alone na corporation. Walang parent-subsidiary relationship. But at the same time, they are also meant, no, for financial reporting of consolidated entities wherein merong parent-subsidiary relationship. Kaya dapat ma-distinguish natin. Ano ba? Which one? Financial statement of an unconsolidated entity or financial statement of consolidated entity or a group FS. Okay? So, kita nyo, first paragraph pa lang, may meaning na. No? Ang lalim na ng meaning. Okay. Gumagamit tayo ng term na GAAP. And normally, the term GAAP came from the US. So it is of US origin. Ang tawag nila sa kanila ay GAAP, Generally Accepted Accounting Principles. Okay. So GAAP signifies all the rules from whatever source which govern accounting. So in individual countries, this is seen primarily as a combination of maraming mga rules eh. Sa accounting practice, maraming rules. At itong mga rules na to came from or stem from national company law or yung state law nila, or sabihin natin meron tayong mga national accounting standards sa kanilang country, meron silang sarili nila. Okay, o kaya naman yung kagaya ng Pilipinas, gaya sa US GAAP, no, before, no, nung wala pang IFRS, wala pang IASB, no? Okay, so ano ang atin? It's really more on the US GAAP. Okay? Kasi sabi mo, ano ba yung IASB? Well, IASB was born in UK. No? UK yan. Ang IASB, that's the birthplace of IASB. Yung gumawa ng mga IFRS. So, UK born yan. No? Okay, the birthplace is UK. Whereas ang counterpart niyan sa US, no? It used to be before we became member or before the Philippines became a member country of the IASB, it used to be ang ating accounting standards no came from US. Yun yung sinasabi nating FASB. No? Ano ba yung FASB? FASB stands for Financial Accounting Standards Board, which is the US or the American Standard Setting Body. Alam mo naman tayo, Pilipinas, sunod na sunod kay Kano, kaya yung mga accounting practices natin nakabase sa US. Okay, kaya lang, no, since 2000, year 2000, no, we became or the Philippines became a member country of the International Accounting Standards Board. Okay, yun yung sinasabi nating standard, international standard setting body. Ang kanilang pronouncements, ang tawag natin IFRS or International Financial Reporting Standards. Okay? So, ganun Now, aside from that, well, rules come from local stock exchange requirements. O kagaya natin dito sa Pilipinas, meron tayong Philippine Stock Exchange. May mga policies yan, may mga rules and regulations yan. Okay, so meaning to say that rules may also be patterned or maybe, hindi naman fully adapted, no? Pwedeng galing sa mga local stock exchange. Sa Pilipinas, isa lang ang stock exchange natin, the Philippine Stock Exchange or the PSE. It used to be dalawa yan, no? No, you're not born yet, no? When there were two, no, in the olden times there were two stock exchanges, the Makati Stock Exchange and the Manila Stock Exchange, na ang ginawa nila, kinumbine nila. So, we now have only one stock exchange, which is the Philippine Stock Exchange. No? It may also be affected by, rules in accounting may also be affected by the Securities and Exchange Commission or the SEC rules. No? In fact, pag pinag-aralan nyo yung sinasabi natin na Securities Regulation Code number 68, makikita mo, ito pala ay may relasyon ito sa, the government may also be a standard setter. No, may mga rules and regulations which for all affect the practice of accountancy in the Philippines. No? Okay. So, aside from those local laws or local rules, there is this International Accounting Standards Board na ito nga yung sinusunod natin. Kasi yung IFRS, if there is an IFRS, we adopt that IFRS being a member country of IASB. Kaya yung IFRS, sa totoo lang, copycat at nagiging PFRS. Okay, but there is a process. Hindi pwede siyang i-implement locally in our local setting unless what? It is approved by the Board of Accountancy or the professional regulation, the Professional Regulations Commission. No? Professional Regulations Commission. Okay, so that means to say may process para maging PFRS. Okay? And we all know, ang dami ng PFRS. And of course, the latest ones, PFRS number 17, yung insurance contracts. Okay? So sabi mo, ang dami naman. Yes, aside from the PAS, meron pang mga long existing PAS which up to now are still effective. No? So ibig sabihin kahit old na siya, effective pa. Like for example, yung PAS number 16 on property, plant, and equipment. Naku, matagal ng yan, accounting standard yan. But up to now, we still follow, no, we still follow the provisions of the PAS number 16 when we are accounting or reporting about property, plant, and equipment. Kagaya ng intangible asset, meron din siyang separate, no? Separate PAS. PAS number 38. Okay. O yung mga provisions and contingencies, meron din siyang sariling PAS. Okay. So, oo nga pala, no? Well, one of my requirements is for you, no? Not only to know the title of the PAS or the PFRS, but also to memorize the number of the PAS or the PFRS. It's for your own good. Sabi mo, sobra naman, sobra naman. Pero later on, you will realize, no, that it is, you are at a great advantage, no, if you know the PAS number or the PFRS number. Not only the title, but also the number of the PAS. Kasi normally, pag gumagawa ng exam itong board, minsan verbatim, no? Ano nila, verbatim, o i-quote nila yung PAS. Oh, yung PAS ha. Kaya kailangan alam mo yung origin. O teka, ito, saan galing na PAS to or PFRS to? What number? O minsan under or based on PAS number. Okay, 41. On agriculture. Buti sasabihin pa kung on agriculture. PAS number 41 is agriculture, di ba? Okay, so that means talagang it's really, an advantage if you know even the PAS number or the PFRS number. And you will, well, I am telling you this in advance, no, so that in one of the quizzes which I am going to give you, no, I may require you, no, to match the title of the PFRS with that of the number of that PFRS or PAS. Okay? Including the IFRIC or the PIC. Okay. So, Philippine Interpretation Committee. Okay. So, ayan, ano? So that on March 29, 2018, ayan, nag-revise ang IASB ng conceptual framework. It used to be yung huli 2010. Ngayon 2018, ang daming great revisions, no? Kasi ganito nangyari. 'Di ba sabi ko sa inyo, no? This is not a marites, this is not a chismis. Okay? So ito totoo to. Okay. Eh di ba, it used to be dalawa ang standard setting bodies. One is UK and another is that of FASB, which is US. Okay. Yung US GAAP, no? May kaibahan dito sa UK or yung UK base, yung IFRS, no? Kaya nagsimula ng mga tinatawag natin mga convergence project. When you say convergence, iha-harmonize nila yung in order to settle or to reconcile their differences. May mga differences kasi ang US GAAP, which is FASB, no, based, no, from that of the IFRS, which is IASB based. May kaibahan. Ngayon ang ginawa nila, doon pa lang sa conceptual framework, meron ng mga kaibahan. So anong ginawa? They came out with a project. Ang tawag doon sa project nila, convergence, no, project. Wherein yung IASB framework at saka itong US or the FASB framework, conceptual framework, hinarmonize nila. So that in the 2018 version of the conceptual framework, halos pareho na sila. No? Kumbaga, na-settle na nila yung differences nila. Okay? That's the reason why may bago tayo. Yan nga, yung the IASB conceptual framework, so that when you compare it with the FASB conceptual framework, halos pareho na sila. Okay? So that's the story behind. Ang US ba patatalo yan? Siyempre hindi patatalo yan. Although, US is also a member country of the IASB. no? Member country rin ng IASB, kaya nga lang they have their own. Kaya nga nangyayari, if you are a CPA working in US, tapos may mga kliyente ka na UK companies that are multinational companies of UK, no? Tapos nag-ooperate din sila sa US. Don't you know na yung CPA na yon medyo mahaba, heavy ang trabaho. Gagawa na sila ng financial statements based on UK IFRS, ha? Pero gagawa rin sila ng financial statements na based on the US GAAP. Isasubmit nila yan eh. So sabi mo, naku, kapag may kliyente ka pala na na tawag dito na multinational company, no, which is British multinational company na nag-operate sa US, sa totoo lang, dalawa ang gagawin mong financial statement. Dalawang version. Version using the US GAAP kasi isasubmit siya dun sa Securities and Exchange Commission ng US. Okay, sa IRS ng US. Okay? For tax purposes, IRS ang tawag nila doon, no? Okay, yung BIR nila ang tawag IRS. Okay. So, version na yon na US using the US GAAP. Pero at the same time, gagawa ka rin ng financial statements na using IFRS. Okay, dalawa. Okay, kasi nga may kaibahan pa rin. Hindi siya harmonized talaga completely. Although we say that the purpose of IASB is to harmonize accounting standards that are being used by member countries. O yun, harmonization daw ng accounting standards. So that investors may have the privilege of comparing companies regardless of its geographical location. So ibig sabihin, yung isang US company can be compared against, let's say, a Philippine company, or sabihin natin a British company, kasi merong harmonization of accounting standard. Kasi how can you compare to financial statements? If let's say one financial statement was prepared based on, let's say, a different accounting standard. Let's say, yung local accounting standard ng country. So, syempre, iba rin naman yung sa ibang countries. So, there is no point of comparison. Okay. Kagaya ng kunwari, let's say, yung overall, what do you call this, yung total, let's say, net income that is prepared under local standard of a country, tapos compared with another country na meron din sariling local standard, accounting standard. So you cannot reconcile them. Oh, 'di ba? Laging magkakaroon ng difference because of the differences in the accounting standard. Kaya sabing ganon, kailangan daw i-harmonize yung lahat ng mga accounting standards so that to make financial statements comparable. Now, when you say comparability, di ba sabi natin, comparability may be intra-comparability or comparability within the company, or it may be intercomparability. Or ano ba ibig sabihin ng intercomparability? Comparability of one company with another company. Oh, yun ang intercomparability. Okay? So, kaya nga 'di ba, nung nag-aral tayo ng FS analysis, meron tayong sinasabing cross-sectional analysis. Pag sinabi natin cross-sectional analysis, one company or company AFS is compared against company B, company C, company DFS. Okay? So, ganun yon, intercomparability. Okay? No? So, pag sinabi naman nating intra-comparability, what do we mean by intra-comparability? It means to say, just within the company, hindi ka nalalayo. O, paano ginagawa natin? O, yung 2020 FS, kinumpare sa 2021, kinumpare sa 2022, kinumpare sa 2023. Anong tawag doon? Intercomparability. Di ba? Kailangan nating nagko-compare. There should always be a point of comparison. Kaya kailangan harmonize yung accounting standard na ginamit. Yun daw ang purpose kung bakit gumagamit tayo ng ng IASB pronouncements. Yun daw. Okay, but there is politics behind it. You know why? Bakit tayo naging member country? Di ba US tayo, lagi tayong US. FASB tayo, babies eh. No, it used to be. Okay, prior to IASB. Okay. Bakit tayo nag-member country? Kagustuhan ba natin yon? This is politics hindi ibibigay ito sa board exam. But we know the reason. Kasi po, World Bank, IMF World Bank conditionality that Philippines become a member of the IASB. Wala tayong magagawa. We cannot refuse. Otherwise, we cannot borrow from World Bank, IMF because that is one of their conditionalities. See? Politics yan. Political. Pero sabing ganun, in a way, harmonization. Okay, so we agree on that. Pero behind it is a political reason. Yun. Okay. Kasi syempre, if you are indebted, you are being dictated. 'Di ba? I-dictate sa iyo kung paano ka paano mga conditionalities ng creditor. That is one of those many conditionalities of the IMF World Bank for the Philippines to become a member of the IASB. Kaya walang magagawa si Pilipinas kundi i-embrace or i-adapt yung IFRS na yung IFRS naging PFRS. Alam nyo na. Okay, so we will not dwell on that. I just mentioned it for you to know. Okay, na aside from yung mga harmonization na yan ng mga accounting standards in order to ensure comparability. Yun ang sabi formally. But there is politics behind. Okay? So, ganun yan ang history ng framework kasi it's really very important to know ano ba yan, how it came about. Okay? So, framework. Ano bang ina-address sa framework? Okay, objective daw ng general purpose financial reporting. Meron daw qualitative characteristics of useful financial information. Ano ba ibig sabihin ng qualitative? Qualitative from the word quality. Di ba? Ano ba ang opposite ng qualitative? Quantitative. Kaya ang ibig sabihin, if it is quantitative, then you can measure. Measurable. Tayo nga, measurable in terms of money, yung FS natin. However, financial reporting also has qualitative characteristics. Ano ibig sabihin ng qualitative characteristic? Characteristics that you cannot measure in terms of money. Para yung beauty. Sige nga, i-measure mo nga yung beauty. So in a beauty contest, lalagyan pa rin ng numerical value para ma-measure yung beauty. Pero in itself, hindi mo talaga ma-measure ang beauty. One may be beautiful to you, but it's not beautiful to me. Di ba? So iba-iba ang natin, perception natin about beauty. Qualitative 'yon. Hindi measurable in terms of money or in any other or using other units of measurement. May ganun pala sa financial reporting. Yes. Okay, we will know about these characteristics. Financial statement and the reporting entity, sabi sa inyo, hindi na natin ginagamit yung word na enterprise dito as far as conceptual framework is concerned. Ang ginagamit natin if we are referring to the company that is preparing the financial statement, ang tawag natin reporting entity. Okay, financial statements and the reporting entity. Ano pa? The elements of financial statement. No, basic accounting pala, pinag-aaralan na yung elements na yan. Ano ba yung mga elemento of financial statements? May elements ng financial position. May element ng financial performance. Magkaiba ba yun? Oo naman. Financial position is different from financial performance. If you are an accountant, you should know the difference. Ano ba ibig sabihin ng financial position? How is it different from financial performance? Ayun. So, dapat malaman mo, may mga elemento pala for financial performance. Meron ding elemento of financial position. Okay? So, recognition and derecognition. Ha? Anong ibig sabihin ng recognition? In accounting, when we say we recognize, we record on the books of accounts. No, if let's say, kumbaga, an event is not worthy of recognition, we do not record on the books of accounts. Tandaan nyo yan. O, di ba? So, ibig sabihin, if an event or a phenomenon, no, is not worthy of recognition, it is not to be recorded on the books of accounts. Eh bakit? Eh hindi nga recognizable eh. Oh, ibig sabihin, hindi siya i-record. Hindi siya recognizable. Eh teka muna, paano natin nalalaman na i-recognize? Kaya nga may accounting standard. Kaya nga meron tayong tinatawag na recognition and even measurement. Kaya sabi mo, recognition, no, and measurement, laging magkasama yung dalawa nun. Para gumawa ka ng journal entry, kailangan mo ng recognition principle at saka ng measurement basis. Hindi pwedeng gumawa ng journal entry kung may nawawalang isa man dun sa dalawa. Okay, eh sabi mo, teka muna, eh paano ko i-recognize? Eh di gagawan mo ng journal entry. Eh pwede mo bang gawan ng journal entry kung hindi mo pwede, hindi ka makapag-assign ng value dun sa event na yon? Kaya laging magkasama yung recognition and measurement. At pag sinabi nating recognition, it may be initial recognition or subsequent recognition. Ano ibig sabihin ng initial? Yung unang record or yung unang recording. Oh, let's say on the date of the transaction, date of acquisition, nag-acquire ka ng computer for office use. O ano yon? O whatever is the date, that is the date of initial recognition. Unang entrada to record the acquisition. After a period of operation, let's say end of the year, yun ang sinasabi nating subsequent recognition. Sabi mo, bakit meron pang ganun? Merong initial at merong subsequent. Natural. Siyempre meron ng may nangyari na, di ba? So ibig sabihin, yung una, hindi mo na pwedeng i-compare doon sa nangyari ng hindi na po pwede mong sabihin na na magkatulad. Kagaya ng property, plant, and equipment item that is subject to depreciation. Oh, syempre, initially, wala ka pang depreciation. Di ba? Pero at the end of the year, subsequently, meron ka ng depreciation. Oh. So, ibig sabihin yung state of nature niya, iba na. Kaya even in accounting, we have initial recognition and subsequent recognition. In the same manner as we can say, merong initial measurement basis, meron din namang subsequent measurement basis. Yun kaya tingnan mo yung mga if you try to read, let's say even only one PFRS, kahit isa lang PFRS, makikita mo that there is always a pattern. No, if you will compare that PFRS with other PFRS, no, may pattern. Recognition and measurement, anong klaseng recognition? Initial or subsequent? The same way as may initial measurement basis, meron ding subsequent measurement basis. Okay? So hindi lang basta-basta. Now, the point that I am driving at is be careful with the use of words. They are so technical. Kaya nga pinag-aaralan natin ang concept. Bakit? Ito yung pinaka-origin niya, ito yung pinaka-root niya. No? At maiintindihan natin kung ano ang pag-journalize natin, anong reason bakit dinedebit natin at kine-credit. If you know the conceptual framework, the concept. Okay, it explains bakit ginagawa natin, in accounting. It's really very important to know the why of accounting. WHY of accounting. The why or the rationale of accounting. No? Hindi po pwedeng sunod ka lang ng sunod. Kasi sabi kasi ganito raw eh. Ito raw ang practice. No, you should know the reason why na-develop yung practice na yun. Diba? Oh. Kasi minsan tayo blind follower eh. Pero pag tinanong mo, bakit mo ginawa yan? Bakit mo dinebit? Bakit mo kinredit? Ay, sandali lang kasi minemorize ko lang to pero hindi ko alam ang reason bakit dinebit, bakit kinredit. Oh, di ba? So minsan ganun. Oh, or kadalasan pa ganun. Even if you ask an old accountant, minsan hindi nila ma-explain bakit nila dinebit ba. Basta ganyan ang practice. Yan ang sasabihin sa'yo. Pero hindi nila alam kung bakit ginawa nila yon. Okay. So kaya nga tayo nagko-conceptual framework. Okay? Measurement. Pag sinabing measurement, anong ibig sabihin? You assign value. To measure means to assign value. Anong klaseng value yung sa atin? Financial, in terms of money. Yun ang measurement natin. Kaya meron tayong unit of measure. And what is our unit of measure? Kapag local company yan, for local transactions, anong ginagamit natin? Of course, the Philippine peso, which is our legal tender. Paano kung sabihin natin na let's say the company is engaged in international trade. Pag sinabi nating international trade, merong import, may export. Sabi mo, teka, iba-ibang currencies na yan. Kasi, there are many currencies in the world. Foreign currencies. So, point of view of the Philippines, foreign currency yan. The US dollar, the sterling pound, or a system, a system currency like the euro, the Chinese yuan, the Japanese yen, ang dami, the German francs. Ang dami. Ang tanong, ganito, paano mo i-measure yung transactions? Kaya nga tayo merong foreign translation naaaralan nyo? Foreign translation, foreign currency translation. So baka hindi nyo napag-aralan yung, alam nyo lang yung foreign currency transaction. Iba yung foreign currency translation. Bakit? Kasi may mga functional currencies, iba-iba yan, pero for presentation purposes, kailangan you need to convert those into your local currency, which is your presentation currency. The functional currency may not necessarily be the presentation currency. Kagaya ni Jollibee. Si Jollibee, dami niyang branches, even internationally, meron siyang branch. Pero with respect to the financial statements that Jollibee Foods Corporation, the mother company, will present, kailangan the financial statements have to be in Philippine peso. Kaya yung mga international branches niya, of course, yung financial statements nila, with respect to the country or to the host country, gagamitin yung functional currency. Pero kapag kinonsolidate yan dito sa Pilipinas by the Jollibee Corporation, Jollibee Food Corporation, in presenting their consolidated financial statement, kailangan presentation currency na is the Philippine peso. Kaya maraming units of measurement. Okay, kaya lang for purposes of presenting financial statements, by Jollibee Corporation, Jollibee Foods Corporation, kailangan the Philippine peso is already the what? The basis of presentation or the measure of presentation. Okay? Teka sandali lang mga ineng, somebody is knocking at my door. Sandali lang ha. Wait for a while. Okay, you may take a break for 5 minutes. Sige. 5 minutes. Uy, 7:00 na pala. Okay, so 7:12. So wait for a Okay, I'm back. So, here is my PowerPoint, ano? Teka. Teka. We're done with this history of the IASB. So what we are discussing is March 2018 version, no, which is the latest. Okay, the latest version of the IASB framework. Okay, hide natin to. Yan. So, history of conceptual framework. So, I already discussed with you in a nutshell. So, the pronouncement is called IFRS. No? So, we have a set of IFRS. And we say that sa local setting natin, the IFRS becomes PFRS. Okay? So it's just a change of a change of the first word from international to Philippine. Okay? So kapag inadapt na natin locally, yung IFRS nagiging PFRS. Okay? Kaya lang meron, as I said, may process yan na it is not automatic. Kasi we have this later on when we discuss about the key players in accountancy, both international and local, you will learn, no, that there is this standard setting body here in the Philippines which we call FRSC, Financial Reporting Standards Council. Okay, the FRSC, which is the standard setting body here in the Philippines. Yun yung local, no, the local counterpart of the IASB. Okay? So, ganon, ano? Now, what is the objective of the IASB framework? Okay? To create sound foundation for future accounting standards that are principles based. No, it's not rules based, no, but principles based. And these pronouncements or the pronouncements of the IASB, no, in order to ensure that they all are anchored, no, in only one or anchored to only one framework, kaya merong IASB framework. So to make, no, the pronouncements, no, all pronouncements, all IFRS internally consistent and internationally converge. Okay? Internally consistent. So, to avoid conflict. Okay? So, if ever na magkaroon ng conflict between and among IFRS, okay, so the one that will settle the dispute is the IASB conceptual framework. So, para walang masyadong conflict, in order to avoid conflict, merong IASB framework. Okay? The conceptual framework to resolve accounting and reporting problems. So that meron tayo sa conceptual framework natin, ano ba yung mga financial reporting objectives? What are the qualitative characteristics of financial reporting? Now, what are the elements of financial statements? And what are the assumptions, no? As well as principles, as well as constraints, no, in financial reporting. So, assumption. So, do we have many assumptions? Okay, or there is only one underlying assumption. We will find it out. So, ito yung sinasabi nating scope ng conceptual framework. Okay, and these are, no, this as we say, conceptual framework, no, has its objective of resolving accounting and reporting problems. Ito nga yung sinasabi natin para walang dispute. Okay? Now, what are the contents, no, of the IASB Conceptual Framework 2018? There is an introduction, there is purpose and status, scope, there are different chapters, a chapter on the objective of the general purpose financial reporting, no, the reporting entity, what is a reporting entity, no, what are the qualitative characteristics of useful financial information, okay? And then there are also chapters on underlying assumptions, elements of financial statements, measurement of the elements of financial statement, no? And there is this, there are yung tinatawag natin distinction, no, between and among capital and capital maintenance, no, concepts of capital and capital maintenance. Okay. So, purpose and status of the framework. It describes the basic concepts that underlie the preparation and presentation of financial statements for external users. Now, pag sinabi nating preparation, what is it? When you say preparation, it is the mechanical side of accounting. How do we prepare financial statement? No, the constructive side of accounting. Kaya nga sabi natin, ang accounting is both constructive and analytical in nature. So yung constructive side niya, it is the preparation. What are the procedures in preparing financial statements? And how do we present financial statements? Meron tayong tinatawag na kailangan may right format tayo ng presentation natin. Properly classified yung mga accounts. Hindi lang basta tayo nagkaroon ng financial statement, even accounts are properly classified. No? And there is, of course, aside from presentation, no, we also are interested, or we are also, no, we are also required, no, to observe disclosure requirements. Ano ibig sabihin na to disclose? To disclose means to reveal. Right? To reveal, to disclose, to be transparent. Kaya aside from the face of the financial statement or the contents of the financial statement, we also support our main statements with notes to financial statement. Full disclosure cannot be partial disclosure. Wala tayong ililihim. We need to be transparent, no? So that to make the financial statement understandable, no, and complete with information, and that will not mislead, no, because if we are going to withhold information, no, especially information that is so material, no, then the absence of which may render the financial statement misleading. Okay, so kaya kailangan kumpleto. Okay. Now, it serves as a guide to the board in developing future IFRS. Who is this board? Or what is this board? We are referring to the international, the IASB, the International Accounting Standards Board. We do not refer to the PRC. We do not refer to the Board of Accountancy. Okay, we refer here, it serves as a guide to the board in developing future IFRS. No? So, IFRS is a pronouncement of the IASB. Kaya itong sinasabi ditong board, it refers to the IASB. Now, it serves as a guide in resolving accounting issues that are not addressed directly by a specific IFRS or IAS. Okay, so meaning to say, itong conceptual framework, as I said, no, this settles the disputes, no, or it serves as a resolution of the accounting issues, no, that may exist. Siyempre, it may cause confusion kung magkakaroon ng mga disputes, conflicts, especially interpretation, no, of what is stated in the IFRS, mahirap yun. Ibig sabihin, if there are statements that are somewhat ambiguous or equivocal, no, so then this framework is expected to settle the dispute. Okay, para maging sigurado, no, hindi subject to many interpretations. kailangan isang interpretation lang, no, in order to attain harmonization. No, eh kung marami pang interpretations, eh di iba-iba rin 'yan. So what is the use of having, no, a uniform set of accounting standards kung hindi mo rin lang maa-attain 'yon? So that's the purpose of the framework. Okay? So, or rather those are the the purposes, no, of the framework. Okay. So the purpose of the IASB conceptual framework is to assist in developing IFRS or IAS, to provide a basis for reducing alternatives, to assist national standard setters in developing national standards, to assist preparers of financial statements in applying international standards, to assist auditors in forming an opinion as to whether international standards have been complied with. Oh, if you still recall, no, the contents of your independent auditor's report. Okay? 'Di ba? Ang ano 'yon, ang nakalagay yung financial statements, no? We you know, when you say independent audit, so it means that the financial statements, no, it is an examination, no, of the financial statements, no, in order to determine whether such financial statements are fairly presented in conformity, no, with what? With the Philippine Financial Reporting Standard. Kaya sa totoo lang, no, auditors should be knowledgeable, no, or should have possessed sound knowledge, no, in Philippine Financial Reporting Standards. Kaya nga nakalagay to assist auditors in forming an opinion as to whether international standards have been complied with. To assist users in interpreting financial statements. Okay? Ano ibig sabihin ng interpretation? Pag sinabi nating interpretation, oh, it means to say, oh, di ba, financial statements, no, convey many messages. Hindi lang isang message. There are many messages. And that, of course, no, if you have financial statements, no, the next thing to do is to interpret the messages, no, contained in the financial statement. Kaya di ba pinag-aralan natin yung financial statement analysis? Kasi we need to interpret. Ano ba yung mga messages? What are the messages that are conveyed by the financial statements? No? Kasi 'di ba sabi natin, no, accounting is a what? The language of the business. And as a language of the business, it has to communicate information to users. Okay? And of course, no, interpretation of the financial statements is necessary in order to enable, no, decision makers to make informed or to exercise informed judgment. Okay? So, next, the objective of general purpose financial reporting. Nako, this is very important. Ano ba ang objective of the general purpose financial reporting? Sabi mo, general purpose. Now, pag sinabi natin general purpose, what does it mean? When we say general purpose, we mean financial statements that are intended or that are to cater to the needs of what? The needs of external users. Okay. Pero syempre, importante rin sa management yun. No? Ginagamit din naman ng management yan for decision making, meaning internal. But it's really more leaning on external users. Kaya nga ang tawag natin ay general purpose, meaning to say it is prepared or it is presented and communicated to external users. Okay, and who are these external users? So, the objective of general purpose financial reporting is to provide financial information about the reporting entity, about the business entity, no, that is useful. Now, when you say useful, relevant. Oh, pag ang financial statement is not relevant, anong use nun? No, it's only a wasted, exercise or a waste of time A waste of effort in preparing and presenting financial statement. Wala naman palang gamit, hindi naman pala useful or relevant. Okay? So, useful to
Hindi po,
existing.
ma'am.
Yes?
Hindi po ata nalilipat yung slide po.
Teka, sandali lang. So, I need to refresh siguro. I-refresh natin. Okay. So, wait for a while, From Karen slide. Ayan, nalilipat na? Hindi pa. Nalilipat na? Namumove na?
Namimove na po.
Okay na po.
Okay. O, sige. Going back to objective,
Ako na.
Okay. So, useful daw kanino yung financial statements? No, useful to existing and potential investors. When you say potential investors, they are not yet investors, but they are about to invest. So, potential or prospective investors. Lenders. Ano ba yung mga lenders? Yung nagpapautang. Okay. Hindi lang to mga investors na ito. Okay? Pag sinabi nating investors, no, mostly investors in stock. Stockholders, potential stockholders. And at the same time, no, meron din tinatawag na group of lenders. Sino naman itong mga lenders na ito? Ito yung mga nagpapautang, ito yung mga bankers, ito yung mga banks, no, and other financing institutions or financial institutions, no? Okay. And other creditors in making decisions about providing resources. What do you mean by resources? Here in conceptual framework, pag sinabi nating resources are assets. Okay? Kaya nga, assets are economic resources. Ano ba yung mga resources? Well, they are those items that we utilize, no, in order to produce and sell, no? Okay, so without assets, ano mangyayari sa business? Nothing. Okay, why? Because you don't have resources, no, you don't utilize resources in order to generate profit. Diba? What is what is the objective of every business? The objective of every business is to maximize profit. Profit generation. Okay, so kaya kakaiba, no, to generate profit. And how do you generate profit? Abay, kailangan you need to generate revenue. Okay? So that you can generate profit. Okay. And in generating profit, meron kang expenses, cost and expenses, di ba? Okay? And that in order to maximize your profit, kailangan siguro you increase your revenue, you decrease your expenses, costs and expenses in order to maximize your profit. Profit generation such that these users of financial information are key players, no, in any business. They are interested parties to the business. Sometimes we call them stakeholders, hindi stockholder, stakeholders. Okay, when you say stakeholders, they include this include not only stockholders but also lenders, no, suppliers, no, and all other other interested parties to the business, including customers, suppliers, okay, financing or financial institutions, government. Naku, ang dami-dami. Okay, so about providing resources to the entity. Okay, ngayon, in chapter 1 of the conceptual framework, it mentions the users of financial statements. So meron tayong tinatawag na primary users of general purpose financial reporting. The present and potential investors, the lenders, and creditors. So sila pala yung primary beneficiaries, no, of financial reporting. Okay? So present and potential investors, lenders, and creditors. Okay. The general purpose financial reports cannot provide all the information that users may need to make economic decision. Kaya nga sinabi natin general purpose eh. Kumbaga sa sinihan, sa sine, general patronage, not for a special group of users la ipin-repair, no? Kumbaga addressing specific needs, no. It cannot be kasi general purpose nga eh. So meaning to say that the general purpose financial reports cannot provide all the information that users may need to make economic decision. But at least, no, they are what? They are complete, no? They are complete. Financial statements or financial reports are complete to enable no users to make economic decisions. Okay? So ano ba yung mga economic decision? Naku, napakadami. Kung yung sa lender, yung lender lang, tanong, to release or to approve and release the loan or not? O, di ba? Kunwari, may business, may applicant, no? For loan applicant. O, di syempre, i-CCI muna ng credit investigation muna ng bangko yan. Titingnan muna ng bangko, evaluate muna. No, using financial statements, evaluate nila kung ano ba ito. Ito ba ay credit worthy, no, applicant. Otherwise, hindi i-approve ang loan, hindi i-release ang loan because it's quite risky. O kaya naman, yung loan na, kunwari, kung ito ay multi-million loan, let's say, nag-a-apply ng 100 million peso loan. O ay hindi pwede. Kaya hanggang lang tayo, hanggang 50 million lang. Kasi hanggang dun lang ang pagiging credit worthy ng company. O that is an economic decision of the lender. Okay. Eto namang potential stockholder, mag-i-invest ba yan o hindi? Okay. So, pag nakita nila, ang galing ng earnings per share niya. O, edi sige, attractive yan sa user. Mataas ang market price ng stock. O, sabi mo, sige, bibili na lang ako ng stocks. Okay, ang ganda eh. Oh, ang galing. Ang taas ng market price ng Okay, so tumataas yung market price. So habang hindi pa masyadong mataas yung market price, I will buy. So that later on, I am expecting, so since stockholder ako, I'm expecting for greater return. Okay, pag tumaas ang presyo niyan, mas ipagbibili ko na yung shares o kaya naman siguro malaking kumita yan, malaki ang dividendong matatanggap ko. Okay, so meaning to say those are decisions that present and potential investors may make. Okay? Yung mga present ano ba to, i-divest ko na o I will still retain my investment. O baka scam ha? Okay, so titingnan yan, no? Tinitingnan mabuti yan. So ibig sabihin, financial statement is a key, no? Towards informed judgment. Hindi ka pwedeng magkaroon ng informed judgment kung walang factual basis. And what is that factual basis? Financial statement. Okay? Next, economic resources and claim. Ano ibig sabihin ng economic resources? Assets. Ano ibig sabihin ng economic claims? O, pag sinabing economic claims, dalawa yan. Maybe claim of creditors, yun yung debt, liabilities. And another, yung equity o claim of what? Or claim of who? Claim of the owners. Kaya two claims yan. The claim of the creditor and the claim of the owners. Okay, so economic kaya nga 'di ba yung basic accounting equation natin? Ano ba yung basic accounting equation natin? Asset equal to liabilities plus equity. Asset, these are resources, economic resources. Liabilities are what? Liabilities are creditors' claim over the assets. Sa payment nga, priority ang, di ba pinag-aralan nyo yung corporate liquidation? O, sino ang priority? The priority is always the creditor. O, makakatanggap lang ang stockholders or the owners, no? After satisfying, no, or settling, no, the liabilities, no, to creditors. Otherwise, walang matatanggap yung shareholders. Bakit? Kasi doon pa lang sa creditor, wala nang pambayad eh. How much more i-return mo yung investment? So priority of payment. So there are two claims over assets. The claims of the creditors we call liabilities, and the claims of the owners. Okay? So in a corporation, in a corporate setup, no, the claim of the shareholders. So in a sole proprietorship, the claim of the proprietor. In a partnership, the claim of the partners. Di ba? So, information and economic resources assist users to assess the entity's financial strengths and weaknesses, liquidity, and solvency. Ano ba yung sabihin ng liquidity? What is liquidity? Sabi mo, liquid. Ano ba yun? Tumutulo? Okay, when you say liquidity, it has to do with what? The ability of the company to settle, no, or to pay its current obligations, its current liabilities. Yun ang liquidity. Do you have, or does the company have liquid assets to pay off its liabilities? Ngayon, sabi natin, no, in simple term, when you say liquidity, it is nearness to cash. When you settle your liability, you need cash. When you pay your supplier, you need cash. When you pay your service provider, you need cash. Kaya kailangan maging liquid yung kumpanya. Hindi yung magbebenta pa ng makina, magbebenta pa ng vehicle. Magbebenta ng building para lang magbayad ng utang. Hindi pwede yun, no? Hindi liquid yung company. So liquidity has something to do with current asset, no? Current asset, no? Which must exceed current liabilities. Baka mamaya baliktad. Mas marami pa yung current liabilities kaysa dun sa current asset. The company has a negative working capital position. Siyempre nakakatakot yun. Kung ikaw ay creditor, hindi ako magpapautang na dyan. Imagine yung current liabilities nila exceed the current assets. Kakatakot yun. Ibig sabihin, negative working capital position yun. Okay, so liquidity and solvency. When you say solvency, it refers to long-term solvency. Solvency or leverage. Solvency means to say that the company is able to pay even long-term obligations. The company is able to pay shareholders regularly, no? Okay, what in the form of dividends. So meaning to say, nakakapagbayad sila ng dividendo sa shareholders on a regular basis. Or let's say annually, meron mga companies nga quarterly pa mag-distribute ng dividends. Okay, it has to do with solvency. How solvent is the company? Baka maya bangkarote na yung kumpanya. How do you know now? Financial statements. Okay, and then of course there is also a need for information, no, so that you will know when you will need, no, when the company will need, no, to obtain financing. Okay, so meaning to say, no, naaalala nyo ba yung yung pagko-compute ng ang tawag dito, yung AFN? Yung AFN, yung tawag dito, what do you call this? Yung financial what do you call this? Yung sa financial forecasting, no, which you are supposed, or you were supposed to, you should have discussed, you should have discussed in financial management. Di ba? No? Ano nga yun, yung ng required financing. How do you know na kailangan mo mag-obtain ng external financing? Okay? So, kino-compute natin yan. And in fact, there is a formula to know whether the internal fund of the company is not sufficient, no, to be able to operate. Kaya kailangan mo ng external financing. O, di ba may formula tayo noon to get or to compute for the yung required financing, something like, kalimutan ko na tuloy yung ano. Okay, so financial, basta yung external financing needs. Okay. Information about the claims and payment requirements assist users to predict how future cash flows will be distributed among those with a claim on the reporting entity. Meaning to say that you can also use financial statement in making predictions, financial predictions, no, as regards to future cash flow. Sabi mo, parang narinig ko na yan. Ay, oo, talagang narinig mo na yan. Eh, di ba, di ba sabi natin sa capital budgeting, no? 'Di ba kailangan natin ng kailangan natin ng mga data about future cash flow. Okay, at least nga 5 years na future cash flow. At sabi mong gano'n ginocomputan mo pa nga ng yung para makuha mo yung present value ng future cash flow eh. Okay, so ano magiging basis ng future cash flow? Where will you get the data? Where will you extract the data? From the financial statement pa rin. Oh, there is really nothing, kumbaga, compared with financial statement. So in making predictions, how future cash flows will be distributed among those with a claim on the reporting entity. Okay. A reporting entity's economic resources and claims are reported in the statement of financial position. Another term for statement of financial position is balance sheet. Pero tayo, we are being advised or by IFRS, no, to use terms or IFRS terms, although, as a term, balance sheet is still acceptable. However, no, sabi nga natin, we are encouraged to use IFRS terms like statement of financial position in lieu of balance sheet as a term. Okay? Or as the name of that financial type of financial statement. Okay. So changes in economic resources and claim. Now, how will there be changes in economic resources and claims? Parang sinabi mo, changes in assets, liabilities, and equity. How come na nagkakaroon ng changes? Pag sinabi natin changes accounting, what do we mean? In financial accounting, increase or decrease. Change. Okay. Otherwise, no change. Di ba? So, nagkaroon ba ng increase or decrease sa assets, sa liability, sa equity? How come na nagkakaroon ng increases, decreases in assets, liabilities, and equity? When the when the reporting entity or the business entity performs. Kaya nga pag sinabi nating changes in economic resources and claims, we mean financial performance. Okay. Anong performance ng company? Nagkaroon ba ng increase, decrease in asset, sa liabilities, sa equity? So it depends on the performance of the reporting entity. So
Ma'am,
changes in a reporting entity, yes? Hindi na
hindi
naman
din,
gumagalaw.
opo, ma'am.
Ba't ba hindi gumagalaw? O yan, gumagalaw na. Hindi pa rin.
Di pa rin po.
Internet ang problema. Okay, sandali Okay, so i-refresh ko na naman. Ensure ko muna. Gumagalaw na.
Yes po, ma'am.
Okay. So ano yon? Nagkakaroon ng naglalag. Okay. So changes in economic resources and claim. Yung ang problema ng virtual class yung the quality, the speed of the internet. No? Yun ang medyo problema. Okay. Changes in reporting entities, economic resources, and claims may result from entities' performance, transaction with owners, and other events or transaction. Ano ibig sabihin ng transaction with owners? Pag sinabi natin, okay, first, entities performance. Pag sinabi natin entities performance or financial performance, it has to do with the results of operation. Meron bang profit? Meron bang loss? Or there is only a break even? Pag sinabi natin profit, Or net income, what does it mean? It means that the total revenues is greater than the total expenses. Whereas when you say net loss, what do you mean? The total costs and expenses exceed that of the total revenues. Hindi magandang performance yun. Unfavorable yun. Okay. And then, aside from that, pwedeng maging break-even. What do you mean by a break-even operation? It means to say there is neither net income nor loss. O ibig sabihin, pantay lang. Total revenues is just equal to the total cost and expenses. Di ba pinag-aralan nyo yan? Saan? Sa strategic cost management, pinag-aralan nyo yung break-even analysis? Na pag sinabi natin at break-even point, there is neither profit nor loss. Nangyayari ba yan? Oh yes, nangyayari pa rin naman. Nangyayari rin yan. Pero, mas ibig sabihin there is really no benefit from the operation. Wala rin naman loss. Okay? Because it is break-even. Right? Okay. Now, aside from entities' performance, changes in economic resources and claims, may result from transaction with owners. Ano ba ibig sabihin ng transactions with owners? Let's say, the owner makes investment. Okay? The owner, let's say the company issued shares of stocks. Okay? Either a common stock or ordinary share, or a preference share or preferred stock. Transaction with owner ba yan? Yes, it's a transaction with owner. O kaya naman, the company or the corporation distributes dividends. Ano entry mo nga doon? Then nag-debit ka ng retained earnings. Nag-credit ka ng dividends payable if it is a cash dividend or a property dividend. Kaya nagke-credit ka ng dividends payable, which is a liability. Kasi, di ba, sabi natin, once the board of directors declares dividends, then the company is already obligated, to pay dividends or to distribute dividends. So, liability is to be recognized, for the distribution of dividend, for the distribution of dividend. Okay? Di ba? Ganun 'yon? Except of course shared dividend or sinasabi nating shared dividend distributable, wherein it's an equity transaction, it does not create a liability because what you will issue to the stockholders as a form of dividend are shares of stock. Okay? Kaya walang liability doon. Kaya transaction with owner. So that means to say payment of dividend is a transaction with owner. Kaya walang tinatawag na dividend expense, naku, utang na loob. Baka, what is dividend? Well, it is an expense. Naku, wag na wag. Hindi expense ang dividend. Okay? Dividend, is a reduction of the free retained earnings. Ano ibig sabihin ng free retained earnings? It means to say unappropriated, unrestricted retained earnings. And ano ibig sabihin? What makes it unrestricted? Walang anumang balakid para ito ay i-distribute bilang dividendo doon sa mga shareholders. Being what? Being the owners of the corporation. Diba? Ganun yun. Kaya hindi mo sasabing debit dividends expense. Naku, utang na loob, Maling-maling accounting 'yan. Okay. So, and then of course other events or transactions, So, changes in reporting entities' economic resources or changes in assets and changes in claims, Pinaganda lang 'yon. Changes in liabilities and equity 'yon. 'Di ba? Okay. So information about a reporting entity's financial performance is useful in assessing the entity's past and future ability to generate net cash flows. The changes in an entity's economic resources. Now, ito yung sinasabi natin na changes in the net cash flow. Kaya tayo may statement tayo of what? Statement of cash flows. So, among other statements. O, di ba? Statement of cash flows. O, di ba sabi natin, ito ha, kapag gumagawa tayo or nagpe-present tayo ng statement of cash flows, what is our basis of accounting? Di ba cash basis? What about if we are preparing statement of comprehensive income? Anong ginagamit natin? Or sabihin natin yung statement of financial position. Anong ginagamit natin? Di ba accrual basis? It's always accrual basis. Right? Hindi cash basis. Meaning to say, among all types of financial statements, di ba, meron tayong statement of comprehensive income, meron tayong statement of financial position, meron tayong statement of changes in equity, meron din tayong statement of cash flows. The first three, use accrual basis. The only type of statement, which deviates from the use of the accrual basis of accounting is the statement of cash flows. Kaya nga siya sinabing cash flows eh. Bakit? Kasi ginamit nga natin ay cash basis. And later on we will discuss, mas lalo nyo maiintindihan yung bakit gumagamit ng indirect method. Di ba? May direct method, may indirect method. Di ba sa indirect method, yung pag nagpe-present tayo ng net cash flows from operating activities or from operation. Anong ginagawa natin? Di ba nag-i-start tayo sa net income or net profit? Di ba? Okay. Sabi mo, kailangan yung profit na yon, kailangan i-convert natin into net cash flow from operating activities. Cash flow. Sabi mo, how will you do that? Kasi yung ating net profit or net income, in-extract natin yan from the income statement. Di ba? Which of course is part of the statement of comprehensive income. Anong ginamit nating basis of accounting? Di ba accrual? Natural, from accrual, magsi-shift ka sa cash basis. Anong gagawin mo ngayon doon sa profit? Di ba, using the indirect method, from profit, i-deduct natin ang mga adjustments in order to convert that profit into net cash flow. Di ba? Kasi, ang ginamit nga natin sa statement of cash flow is cash basis of accounting. So that among the four types, the main types of financial statements, it is only the statement of cash flows that use or that make use of the cash basis. All others, accrual basis. Diba? Ganon. Okay, so ibig sabihin meron palang mga relasyon yan, merong mga explanation yan, bakit ganun ang ginawa mo. Sabi mo, oo nga, indirect method. So sa indirect method, kailangan nagsimula ka sa profit na in-extract ko sa income statement para na sa ganon, ito ay i-convert ko into a net cash flow. Cash yun ang pinag-uusapan. Kaya tingnan mo, inad mo yung depreciation and amortization. Bakit? Kasi yun yung mga expenses that you considered in the computation of profit, yet for purposes of net cash flow, hindi sila what? Wala namang cash flow dun eh. Di ba? Wala namang payment na nangyari. Bakit? Do you pay depreciation? Do you pay amortization? Of course not. Walang cash flow doon. Kaya anong gagawin mo? Dahil kinonsider sila sa profit, ang gagawin mo, i-add back mo yung depreciation and amortization in order to convert the profit, which is a product of the accrual basis of accounting, into net cash flow from operating activities. Di ba? Meron pa, aside from depreciation and amortization, meron ka pang ipinag-a-add deduct doon. Okay? Para ma-convert mo lang. So, ganun, Kaya tayo sa accounting, meron tayong tinatawag na talagang may order. So, talagang mayroong, sa bawat ginagawa or procedure natin sa accounting, merong explanation kung bakit natin ginawa yon. Ano ang theoretical basis ng ginawa natin? It explains bakit natin dinebit ito, bakit natin kinredit ito, bakit ito ang procedure. Okay? Kaya there is really no need to memorize entries. Naku, wag na wag magme-memorize ng entries. Naku, it's a mortal sin for accountants, no, to memorize entries. Kailangan alam mo ang rason kung bakit ka nag-e-entry. 'Di ba? Oh, hindi dahil sinabi ng teacher, oh, ito raw ang gawin mong entry. Hindi mo naman naintindihan kung ano yung reason bakit mo ginawa yon. Pag tinanong mo, basta. O, gano'n ang ano eh. Basta kasi nakagawian na. Hindi pwede yung nakagawian na. Dapat may explanation kung bakit mo ginawa yon. Okay? Changes in an entity's economic resources and claims arising from the entity's performance are presented in the Statement of Comprehensive Income. Sabi mo, Statement of Comprehensive Income, bakit hindi tinawag na income statement? You know, income statement is just a part of the Statement of Comprehensive Income. Later on in PAS1, no, when we discuss, no, the topic on presentation of financial statements, no, you will know that part of the Statement of Comprehensive Income is that part, no, that you are the what you call the items that you present in the income statement. Okay? Kasi sabi mo, di ba dati is income statement lang? Ano yung Statement of Comprehensive Income? Kasi raw, yung net profit is not an overall indicator of performance yet. Hindi raw kumpleto yun. Na makita mo lang na net income, uy, okay, palakpakan. Nakita mo net loss, ay, luhaan. Hindi lang daw yon ang indicator of the overall performance of a company. Bakit? Kailangan merong kang other comprehensive income item. So, ibig sabihin, your net profit or your net loss plus or minus. Okay, plus or minus. Bakit ko sinabing plus or minus? Natural, kung other comprehensive income, i-add mo. Paano kung other comprehensive loss? Pwede bang magkaroon ng other comprehensive loss? Oh yes, kung meron niyang other comprehensive income How much more yung other comprehensive loss? Ay, meron pala nun. Kasi laging ang pinag-aaralan natin yung other comprehensive income. Kaya akala natin, hindi po pwede, walang situation na other comprehensive loss. Yan. Equal to the total comprehensive income. So the total comprehensive income is the overall indicator of financial performance. Kaya kung income statement lang ang ipakikita natin, kulang yun. Kasi ang overall indicator daw of financial performance is not only the net income or the profit, but you have to include other comprehensive income items. See? Ganun yun. Kaya nga sinabing comprehensive Ano ba ibig sabihin ng comprehensive? Malawak. No? Masyadong wide. Marami. Malawak. Hindi tayo isa net income lang tumitingin when we evaluate the overall performance of a company. Di ba? Akala natin, simpleng-simple lang. Ganito pala ang theory. Kaya kapag alam mo ang concept, no, madaling maintindihan ng financial accounting and reporting. Napakadali. Okay, bakit? May explanation ka Naiintindihan mo ano yung impact ng transaction. Di ba? Okay. Financial performance reflected by past cash flows. Information about a reporting entity's cash flows during the reporting period also assist users to assess the entity's ability to generate future net cash inflows. Okay? The changes in the entity's cash flows are presented in the statement of cash flows. Okay, changes in economic resources and claims not resulting from financial performance. Ano-ano yan? Yung mga transactions nga with owners. Okay. Kagaya ng issuance of equity instrument. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, nagkaroon ng increase in asset. Nagkaroon din ng increase in equity. But the increase in equity is not attributable to financial performance. Not for or not from operating result. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, kaya nag-increase yung cash mo kasi bumili itong mga investors ng shares of stock mo. Nag-issue ka ng equity instrument. Anong equity instrument yung in-issue mo? E di shares of stock. O ano proof? E di ang tawag doon is stock certificate. O eh di ba anong entry? Debit cash, which will increase cash. Credit share capital, which will increase equity. Ang tanong, may revenue ba? Wala! Di ba? Kaya hindi financial performance yon. Nag-increase ang asset because of the increase in share capital. Nagkaroon din ng increase in equity. So yan yung sinasabing changes in economic resources and claims not resulting from financial performance. Another is distribution of cash or other assets to shareholders. Ano yan? In the form of dividends. Diba? Kaya nga ang dividend, sabi ko sa inyo, is not an expense. Eh kung ang dividend ay expense, eh hindi nag-result siya for financial performance. Kaya nga lang, the payment or the distribution of dividend is not a result of financial performance. Walang expense doon. Eh ano, yung retained earnings na, di ba sabi natin pag retained earnings, accumulated profit. And when you say accumulated profit, when did it begin? Then when did you begin accumulating profit? From the very start of the operation. No? When you organize the corporation or when you organize the entity. So nag-engage ka ngayon sa operation. 'Di ba? Kaya from then on, nag-accumulate ka ng profit. Yan ang ibig sabihin. Accumulate. Kaya nga another term for retained earnings is accumulated profit. But of course, we are used to retained earnings as an account, 'di ba? Kaya wala namang problema kung ang gagamitin nating account title ay retained